Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a meeting on Saturday with Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli and Minister of Electricity Dr. Mohammed Shakir, discussing the state's strategy to diversify renewable energy resources as well as the latest developments of the national mega projects in the field of electricity. Here are more details.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi gave his instructions to resume the national strategies aimed at boosting and diversifying renewable energy resources. This came during the President's meeting on Saturday with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and the Minister of Electricity, Mohammed Shakir. Presidential spokesperson Ambassador Bassam Radi said the meeting tackled a number of projects of renewable energy, electric bridge with neighboring states, as well as the control center of the national electricity network of the new administrative capital. The Minister of Electricity reviewed the national projects currently under construction or in their final phase in the sector of electricity and renewable energy, particularly those depending on wind and solar energy in partnership with multinational companies. The projects are held within the framework of the state's integrated and sustainable strategy that aims at reaching 42% of renewable energy share by the year 2035. Shakir also discussed the latest developments of the Egyptian-Saudi electric bridge project and the construction of a number of electric transformations in both sides to realize the maximum mutual benefits. Meanwhile, President al-Sisi directed the executives to prepare a national comprehensive strategy to produce green hydrogen with full coordination among different state sectors, coping with the latest developments in the globe. In the field of green hydrogen proved to be a promising source of energy in the near future.
Upon the instructions of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, 2 military jets loaded with medical aid headed to Tunisia in solidarity with the Tunisian people and to continue supporting the brotherly nation in times of crises. For its part, the Tunisian side hailed the historic ties that bind Egypt and Tunisia and expressed full appreciation to the Egyptian political leadership for its endless efforts to support the Tunisian government and people. Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces Mohammed Farid arrived back home, wrapping up his official visit to Greece, where he met with Greek Ministry of Defense and signed a protocol of cooperation in the military educational fields. Details.
Army Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Mohammed Farid has been to Greece for several days as he held meetings with his Greek counterpart Konstantinos Floros and Minister of National Defense of Greece Nicholas Paniagotopoulos. In his talks with Paniagotopoulos, the Egyptian Chief of Staff focused on military and strategic cooperation between both countries, underlining the necessity of exchanging views over joint challenges and regional developments in the coming period. They also discussed the latest developments in North Africa, the Middle East, and the broader Mediterranean region. Farid had begun the visit by laying wreath on the unknown soldier tomb and delivering the greetings of Minister of Defense Mohammed Zaki to his Greek counterpart, as well as the greetings of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. For his part, the Minister for National Defense of Greece expressed appreciation for the close ties between the country and Egypt, saying he looks forward for further cooperation to serve the peoples of both states. The partnership between Egypt and Greece is getting stronger as the two countries have steadily and decisively created a real power bloc in the Eastern Mediterranean based on diplomatic, military, financial, and cultural ties.
Head of the Cairo International Book Fairs Authority, Dr. Haitham Al-Hajj Ali, on Saturday received a group of members of Parliament, Senate, and members of the Youth Coordination of Parties and Politicians. The delegation of the Youth Coordination of Parties and Politicians visited the book fair on its 10th day during its 52nd session held at Egypt Center for International Exhibitions and Conferences, and made a tour to all the various sections of the exhibition. They praised the organization of the fair and the high turnout it's witnessing, which is increasing day after day, and all the precautionary measures taken to avert a coronavirus outbreak. On Saturday, the fair witnesses the signing ceremony of a book entitled Men Pledge to God by Rami Abdel Baqi, member of the CPYPP, in addition to honoring a number of wives of martyrs. Welcome back. Minister of Trade and Industry Nabi Ngema delivered a message from President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to his Senegalese counterpart Macky Sall concerning the depth of mutual, historic and strategic relations, as well as Egypt's keenness on developing economic, trade and industrial cooperation. This came during Ngema's meeting with the Senegalese president in the country's capital, Dakar, within the framework of the minister's visit to the country to have the work of the largest Egyptian trade mission to Central and West African countries. Ngema said the president's message expressed Egypt's aspirations that activating the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement would contribute to boosting trade exchange between Egypt and African countries in general and Senegal in particular. For his part, Sall weighed the distinguished relations between Egypt and Senegal, expressing his country's looks towards the enhancement of economic partnership with Egypt. The Senegalese president said finding a radical solution to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, the GERD crisis between Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia, aims to preserve the historic rights of the Egyptian people, affirming that this is the right of approach that all parties have to stick to. The Ministry of Planning and Economic Development issued a report on the results of the Egyptian economy recovery indicators from the repercussions of COVID-19 during the third quarter of the fiscal year 2020-2021. Ministry of Planning and Economic Development Hala Saeed said that the state implemented a set of proactive policies aimed at dealing with the pandemic, adopting a clear plan to ease the repercussions of the economic stagnation on citizens. The minister stated that the Egyptian state pumped £100 billion as part of a stimulus package that supports sectors affected by the pandemic crisis to balance between preserving the health of citizens and achieving economic growth rates. Said stressed that the Egyptian economy is moving towards recovery at rapid rates, adding that the National Program for Structural Reforms, which was adopted by the government as a second phase of economic reform, will increase the ability of the Egyptian economy to recover from the negative repercussions of the pandemic.